Here's what nobody tells you about musical cast recordings. We all stream them, obsess over them, learn every harmony, but financially, they're not what you think. Let's start with a big question. Do cast recordings make a lot of money? No, very rarely. If you look at a typical Broadway cast recording, it can cost up to and sometimes over $500,000 to make. You're paying for the full cast, the orchestra, the studio, the sound engineer, the mix engineer, the mastering engineer, the licensing and rights, the lawyers that deal with those licensing and rights. You're making a full-scale quality studio album for a small community of theatre nerds. And that's the problem, because compared to pop music, musical theatre is relatively niche, and it doesn't get anywhere near comparable sales and streams as Sabrina Carpenter. Now, yes, there are exceptions. Hamilton, Wicked, In the Heights, they have all been successful, but they are outliers. Now, let's talk about streaming, because this is where it gets depressing. Spotify pays approximately a tenth of a penny per stream. So if an album costs you $100,000 to make, you need 100 million streams before you broke even. That is huge. Most shows won't come close to that. Now, actors must get a fair share of royalties appearing on these albums, right? Well, no. Contracts vary, but traditionally, no. Unlike pop singers, actors will usually get a session fee for doing the recording, and if they do get royalties, it will be like that of a session musician, depending on their contract and how good their agent is at negotiating. Composers, lyricists, producers, and record labels are more likely to rake it in if the album's a success. But what we have to remember is a cast recording is theatre first, music second. Because here's the important bit, a cast recording is a marketing tool. It creates a fandom, builds a hype, and sells tickets. Then producers can use those streaming numbers to get investments. Cast recordings are also a great archive tool so that musicals can be replicated time and time again. They're also a great discovery tool for people that don't have as much disposable income to try a theatre show. They listen to the album first, they like it, they spend their hard-earned money on a ticket. Take Hadestown. The album built the following before it got to Broadway. Cast recordings aren't about money, they are about longevity, making sure a show lasts long after the final curtain, making sure that it travels globally, and making sure the audiences that do get to see it can remember it by listening to it at home. So next time you hit play, remember, you're not just listening to music. You're keeping a theatre show alive. If I've surprised you, share the video. You might surprise one of your mates.